You're coming from a place of overflowed self-love, and that's what sets the standard for you and your friendships. Galing mo talaga? Hello loves, and welcome back to Patty's Path. So if you see my dog in the background, please don't mind him. He's just keeping me company and wanting to stay in the same room with me, but let's continue on. So on today's episode of Your Highest Version Radio, where we talk about topics and stories that help you reach your highest version, we talk about making friends in your 20s, more specifically, how to make high-value friends as an adult. So for your convenience, this video is divided into 3 chapters. So for the first topic, which is navigating my 20s and making friends as an adult. So growing up, usually we'd be put in these school settings. And the common experience is when you're put in a school setting is everyone would be put in these little cliques. Everyone would have their own group. And because everyone had their own group, it's as if, well, for me, I felt like I had to have a group as well, or else you'd be casted out or be branded or tagged as a loner. So obviously, we were kids and we were kind of conditioned that, okay, so you have to find a friend group to survive grade school, high school, or whatsoever. So that was my default. I noticed that I would insert myself in places, friend groups, or circles or cliques that didn't necessarily resonate with me growing up, or even if I was just trying to figure myself out, I felt like I needed to be part of a friend group just so I could fit in. And so as I mentioned, I was pushing myself into spaces that weren't necessarily where I wanted to be, but just because of convenience and having the need to fit in, I was there. So I think it's a common experience too that growing up, the friends that we would make are the ones from school, because they are friends out of convenience or proximity, meaning they're the closest ones to us. So whoever is convenient or the closest to us, the tendency is we become friends with them. And that's not to say that the ones that we become friends with, they're not interesting or fun or even good for you. It's just that because of circumstances, they become your friends. And that was the tendency for me growing up. And even until my very first years of my 20s, that was the experience that I had. And I think for this topic, I do want to share the part wherein I was actually slowly starting to be an adult already, aka me moving out on my own to La Union. So when you are trying to be an adult, especially moving out to a completely different place, you obviously would want to make friends or have at least that feeling of companionship because you're making such a big move, a drastic change in your life. And that's what I felt during that time. By the way, if you want to watch that podcast episode of me explaining why and how I moved out to La Union, the video's over here. But yes, moving out there, I know I would enjoy my own company, but it was just that social pressure that, okay, you're on your own now, kid, but you have to get people around you so that you could survive. And on that word of survive, definitely I was in survival mode, having to move out from somehow of a toxic household. I wanted to make friends of my own and I was in survival mode, so I was sort of coming from a place of lack, to be honest, looking back at it now, which ended up with me attracting people that, to be honest, weren't necessarily for my highest good. Back then, I remember, being honest here, I had this need to please the locals in the place that I moved out to because I had this mindset that, okay, I'm from Manila, I'm from the city, but I can fit in. I'm meant to live this beach lifestyle and be close and be agreeable towards the locals. And that's nice. That's a good mindset to have. But I think I was coming from a place of lack, as I mentioned, and that ended up with me settling for bare minimum friendships that in retrospect didn't really help me at all. And since this is my podcast, I would be honest and say that some of those friends of mine back then aren't people I would consider friends now, just because I'm in a different headspace, heart space, and era of my life. But I can also say that they were the wrong friends, just because I was coming from a place of lack, I was in survival mode, and it just felt like I had to fit in. And I'd also want to mix in this story when it comes to making friends in my 20s. So basically, when you solo travel, right, you're on your own again. You're gonna explore a place that you're not super familiar with. Obviously, you'd want to have companions or friends, a circle of friends that would be by your side throughout it all. Well, last year, okay, this is gonna be some tea, but you know, I was solo traveling for a month in a specific place that I traveled to. And for the most part, I really wanted it to be like a solo trip. Like, you know, I'd still have my own things to do because it was like a year of being single and the gift was for me to travel on my own. And in the middle of the trip, of course, like you spend so much time alone, there comes a point wherein you'd actually want to reach out and make friends and socialize because I'd like to consider myself as an ambivert. So after spending so much time alone, I wanted to open up, you know, I wanted to meet people. And so I'd say the nuanced part about making friends when you're solo traveling is that when you don't know the type of friends that you'd want to be with, even if you're just solo traveling, you tend to attract people and project the idea, and this is me, this is my mindset. You tend to project the idea that, okay, these are my circle of friends, like sisterhood, girlhood, you know, a power circle of women or whatsoever. So you would have that tendency to project even if those people aren't that. And that's where I was coming from. Even for the most part, like in my 20s, trying to make friends, specifically with girlfriends. You know, with every girl that I meet, I always value each woman that I meet. I see them as fellow queens. So I tend to project that, oh, okay, we can form a little sisterhood, you know, share stories about life and help one another and just empower each other. And that's a good mindset to have as a woman, you know, trying to be in her divine feminine. But sometimes it can bite you back in the ass because you can project, and sometimes in projecting, you tend to attract people who are not necessarily good for you. And so where I'm going with this is, and I won't go into the specifics, but I feel like back then, because I was solo traveling and I just wanted to open up my heart, I was accepting all types of people, or more so like not being careful with my energy field or honoring my boundaries or honoring my standards, even when it comes to friendships. So that experience definitely taught me that not everyone is a friend, a true friend who will back you up no matter what. Not every girl that you meet is into that womanhood, sisterhood vibe. And the third is to be selective of people that you let into your life because they will not always resonate with your outlook on life, values, and beliefs. Okay, that was kind of hard for me to talk about, but then again, this is my podcast and I am in my unapologetic era, so deal with it. And on that note, for my self-development girlies out there who are trying to be their highest version, we now talk about the kinds of friends you would want to attract, more specifically, high-value friends. So as I was sharing earlier, you know, growing up and moving into my early 20s, most of the time I was trying to make friends coming from a place of lack. And so from that, I learned you have to be okay with enjoying your own company or enjoying your alone time first, so that the love that's overflowing from you will be the one to attract the right people or the right friends for you. Like, you're not coming from a place of lack, but you're coming from a place of overflowed self-love, and that's what sets the standard for you and your friendships. So on that note too, when it comes to spending alone time or enjoying your own company, I recommend going on solo dates, you know, whether it be once, twice, or thrice a month, or even every week. Just set aside some time for yourself, no distractions, just you and your own company. May it be reading a book or, you know, going to the mall and watching a cinema by yourself. Set aside some time for you to enjoy your own company, and even plan out dates for yourself. Like, for example, if you'd want to go rock climbing, and usually people would want to be like, hey, do you want to go rock climbing with me? No, honey, you can try to do that by yourself first, you know? Wouldn't it be fun? Something like that, okay? So again, love yourself first so that you can attract friends coming from a place of self-love and not from place of lack. So now, the important question, what are the kinds of friends that you would want to attract when you're on your own journey of reaching your highest version? So I will share 3 main ones that I like to look back on whenever I'm trying to make friends now in this era of my life. So the first one is to attract people who are also on their own journey towards reaching their highest version so that they can influence you in a good way. So what I mean by this is attracting people who are also trying to reach their highest potential, whether it be in their career, their highest potential in their love life, their highest potential in their faith, their spirituality, their highest potential in whatever they're trying to achieve in life, because there will be moments in your own journey wherein you feel demotivated, down in the dumps, or just feeling like you're in a slump. It's these high value friends who are dedicated to reaching their highest potential that will motivate you to get right back on track. And to add on to that, attracting people who are on their path towards their highest version too, they would usually have the same values and morals as you, whether it be in your faith or spirituality, or the values that you would find important to be in a friendship, like loyalty, continuous self-development, and whatever it may be that will resonate with you. Those people who share the same values and morals with you, they're the ones that will help you reach the top. So cling on to those people and foster your friendships with them. The second type of friend that you would want to attract are those who have ambition and those who work hard to achieve their visions and goals. Controversial opinion, but settling for those who don't have ambition or just go with the flow, that's okay for some, okay? No judgment, that's okay with you, but it's not okay with me. For people like me who have a lot of dreams and are trying to reach the top 1% of society, settling for those friendships just won't do it for me. I'm trying to make the most out of my life, so I'm not gonna settle, and so should you, honey. On that note of attracting friends who have ambition, I actually want to give a shout out to basically all my girlfriends that I have in my life right now. All of them are working towards something, and whenever they share what they're working on, let's say my friend Angge, she's my closest friend, she's one of my best friends. She works as a marketing girly now, and they have so many beautiful projects that they're working on. So every time I see her hustling in her work, it just makes me feel so kilig. And then I'd also want to give a shout out to Kim. Okay, so she's another example. Hi, Mother Kim. Basically, she also has her own vintage clothing business, or she also sells online, and her business is doing hella great. It's so amazing. She works hard to reach the goals that she has for her business, alongside balancing many different aspects in her life. And recently, my sister and I just met up with her, and seeing her in her own space and how she grinds with photo shooting and taking care of household duties, it just made my heart flutter, because I can't believe someone as beautiful as her, still manages to hustle and achieve so much. And those are the types of friends that you would want to attract. And the third type of friend that you would want to attract are those that don't see you as competition. Instead, they help you win too. They speak highly of you in the rooms that you're not in. They share opportunities with you that help you gain more abundance. Those are the friends that you would want to attract. Okay, lighting. So thinking about this one actually makes my heart kilig again, because I definitely am surrounded by other women who help me reach my ambitions. They share opportunities. Like, for example, I recently made a new friend. Her name is Mar, or Maria. She owns her own hair care business, and it's doing so well. It's called Alofa. So we recently met for business matters at first. She got me as one of her models, or one of the people to be showcased in her campaign. That campaign was about empowering women and, while promoting the hair care brand, and it was so amazing. I can't believe I got to be surrounded by powerful, amazing, and beautiful women like Mar, and it just enriches my life so much. Another friend that I can think of at the top of my head would be my friend Pao. You know, she's also a content creator, she also serves. And you know, the tendency with other content creators would be like, oh, why does she have more followers than me? Or how does she get that much views? Or you know, there's that secret animosity. But when it comes to me and my friends, and especially Pao too, instead of doing that, we would share opportunities with each other. You know, she and I have worked together on so many different projects. The most recent one being the one with Mar, you know, with the hair care brand. Look at that little crossover, that's so cute. But yes, I recommended her to be the photographer for the project because she's that talented, she's that amazing and capable, and I believe the project turned out well. And on her end, she would also refer me to UGC deals and different brand deals that I could work with. And I just love how we all help each other. And this applies to with my other girlfriends in La Union too. Ooh, and I remember my other friend Nikki as well, who is a famous TikToker. You know, she has a huge audience and people love her content. Every time I see her content, I get so inspired. Like, I love how she showcases her life in a beautiful and creative way. And also recently, we had a little one-on-one girly date wherein we talked about, you know, life, and at the same time, how to make this year our year when it comes to our dreams, goals, and most especially content creation, because she is a content creator too. So it's just, you know, inspiring to be around these women who don't see you as competition, but instead empower you to become your highest version. So those are the 3 types of friends that you would want to attract, and those are just some of it that I can think of at the top of my head. But I thought about another one, and this is an additional tip for my women. You would want to attract women who are also in their divine feminine. Women who are in their divine feminine are able to balance their masculine and feminine energies. They balance their masculine energy, let's say if they have a business and they work hard, they grind, they hustle, and they put all the work in, and you know, they don't chase men, but they chase their goals when it comes to their business. That's a masculine energy that they balance. And blend that together with feminine energy, wherein they know how to slow down, be in touch with their feminine, they care for themselves, they know how to set their boundaries, and they don't let anyone F with them. Those feminine qualities, they're in their receiving too, I forgot to mention. Like, they know how to receive, they don't always do and do, especially for people who don't pour back into them. That's a very feminine quality. Another feminine energy characteristic is, let's say your friend is in a long-term relationship that's very healthy, very self-conscious, aware, into self-development, and it's just very healthy. They know how to receive from their partner, you know, they are cherished and loved in the relationship. You know, it would be nice to be friends with people like that because it inspires you that, hey, I can receive that treatment as well. So going back to attracting women who are in their divine feminine, they know how to balance their masculine energy together with their feminine energy to form the divine feminine. And I would like to say that I have attracted women like that in the past. You know, we haven't caught up in a while, but I definitely would say that I am surrounded by divine feminine women, and they inspire me so much to be my highest version. To put a cap on that subtopic of the types of friends that you would want to attract, you know, there's this famous saying that, you know, birds of the feather, ano yun? Birds of the same feather flock together. So, you know, the people that you surround yourself with, you eventually start to be like them, act like them, think like them. So you have to be careful of the people you surround yourself with. And here on my channel, wherein we're all into self-development, you know, there's another quote that you are the summation of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. So if you think at the top of your head, who are the people, the 5 people that I surround myself with the most, or who are the 5 people in my life, whether it be like an influencer or a friend, family member, whatever, that I surround myself with the most or spend the most time with, those people will tell so much about the type of person that you are. So if you're friends with people who don't have much ambition, they spend their free time scrolling through their phones and not doing anything substantial, they drink out to party and spend most or every weekend doing vices, those are not the type of people you'd want to attract if you're trying to be your highest version, you know? For some people, that would be okay, but you know, birds of the same feather flock together, so if you hang around people who are like that, you end up becoming a person like that. So then on the contrary, if you want to be a high value woman who lives a very enriched and fulfilling life. You would want to attract women who, let's say, have their own business, women who take care of their mind, body, and soul, women who are in healthy relationships, not only with their partners, but also their families, women who are of faith and they value their spirituality, something like that. You know, once you start surrounding yourself with women like that, I guarantee you're gonna reach your highest version. And I know I speak about, you know, women friendships a lot because I am a woman, and it's been such a helpful thing in my 20s, you know, as making friends. For my girlies out there, hold on to your girlies, especially high value girlfriends who have stuck with you for so long, because they will be your safe space and anchor all throughout your adulthood. Being a girl's girl has saved my life and even enriched it. Decentering men and focusing on my quality time with my girls has allowed me to see that I don't have to settle for bare minimum men when my girls literally go above and beyond for me and make me feel so loved. So yeah, I also want to make a video in the near future about women friendships, sisterhood, decentering men. So let me know if you like those types of topics. We are now on to the last topic, which is how to maintain your friendships as a busy adult. I know as adults, we all have our own busy schedule. You know, some people have work, some people go to school, like med school. I mean, that's the case for me. Like, I have a circle of friends and we all have different jobs, occupations, or ways to earn our income. So definitely we have different busy schedules. And that's why low maintenance friendships work for a lot of people, including me. But my sister actually mentioned this one thing a few days ago. She said something like, how low is low maintenance to the point that you don't even have something to maintain anymore? And you know, that got me really thinking, like, oh my gosh, yeah, I have made a lot of friends as an adult in my 20s, but the problem is, how do you maintain those friendships, especially if they're the ones that help you grow as a person? So keeping in touch with your friends every once in a while is crucial to maintain long-lasting and fulfilling friendships. And honestly, I have to work on this too, because I have a tendency to just be in my own little world, you know, ghost everyone, hustle on my own, and I just have to remind myself that, hey girl, there are people in your life, friends and family in your life that want to support you and spend time with you and love you. So now I'm trying to connect with my friends more, you know, setting up dates, sending voice messages, writing love letters, and giving gifts, or most especially flowers. I love giving my friends flowers. They know that I love flowers so much. Every time we would see each other, or, you know, see each other after a long while of not seeing each other, I would give them flowers as a way of saying that, hey, I miss you and I love you and I still cherish you. So yeah, those are ways that I've tried to maintain friendships as a busy 20-year-old. And to cap this topic off, basically, maintain the ones who make the effort to maintain you. Go where your energy is reciprocated and appreciated. And that is all for today's video. I can't believe you made it to the end of this episode. If you're still here watching or listening, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Give this video a like, and since you're already here, do subscribe to my channel. It would help me out a lot. Let me know too if you like this type of content, and until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, loves!